Liverpool close the points gap with Manchester United. They close in on Tottenham and the top four race. A brilliant performance overall from Jurgen Klopp's men returning after the World Cup break. Darwin Nunez with another classy overall performance. No goal, but run that Aston Villa defensive line ragged for 90 plus minutes. Ollie Watkins gave the home side a glimmer of hope before Bajcetic put the game beyond doubt, gave Liverpool their third goal of the game, their third win on the bounce in the Premier League. And the big question is, can they catch Arsenal? Can they catch Man City? The commentators are talking about it. It's a trending topic across social media. So, of course, we're going to come to you, the Football Terrace, and ask you your thoughts and your feelings on this. But a solid win from Liverpool tonight. As you can see, they're in the top six. They're a couple of points away. With a game in hand, I will add, they have a game in hand over Tottenham. Win that game in hand, and they will be just 2 points behind a top four place after a very poor start. They're only a handful of points behind Man City. Liverpool have shown in the past they are capable of winning game after game after game after game on the bounce. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could do that again. Could they be back anywhere near the title race, or is it just top four for them this year? I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. But for me, Liverpool are getting towards looking back. They are looking more dangerous. They are looking more solid. And they haven't even had the January window where it's almost not 100% a guarantee, but very likely that Liverpool buy more players. Very, very important. And when Nunez finds his goal scoring form as well, this guy scores goals in clusters. And what I'm really impressed about with Darwin Nunez is the fact that he doesn't just score goals. Work rate, the positioning, the amount of times he wants the ball put in behind, the fact that he keeps asking for it, put it over the top. I'll run the defense. I'll run a defense. I'll run the defense is the reason that Liverpool scored that third goal. His ability to not always want it to feet like so many players in the modern day game. He wants to cause. Ask Tyrone Mings tonight. Phone up Tyrone Mings and say, how hard was that? And I'm telling you now, he'll say he gave him an absolute torrid time out there. Yes, he has to add goals. Yes, he has to become far more clinical up front. But for his tender years, there's a player in there still. And I think Jurgen Klopp could get the best out of him. Terry, talk João Felix. We're not talking João Felix. It's a match reaction. João Felix obligation to Chelsea. Terry, talk about that. I can't talk about it because I haven't read about it. We're here to talk this. This is what we're here for. So this is what we're going to talk about. You tell me what you've read and I'll give you an opinion on it, bro. That's the easiest thing to do. Are you serious right now? Yeah, I am serious. When you watch Darwin Nunez play, be more worried about him not getting into those positions. I'm not saying don't worry about the lack of finishing. I'm simply stating 2 things he does, which a lot of young people in life can't do, is when it's not working, they quit. He doesn't quit, he keeps trying. That's a brilliant trait to have. And secondly, he gives the defense a torrid time. He opens up space, he creates opportunity for others. That isn't saying he doesn't need to score more. If you're negating that, then don't argue with me. Because I'm not stating that at all. But I see a lot of people online bantering Darwin Nunez, and I'm thinking it ain't as bad as y'all making out. I don't think it's as bad as you're all making out. I think it's, at this point, the Darwin Nunez banter is forced. It's forced. People don't see him as bad a player as they tweet. That's it for me. I think it's a fugazi bit of banter now. It's becoming boring. It's becoming a bit milked. I don't think people think he's as bad as they tweet, personally. What do I think about Bajcetic? Look, he scored a good goal. I've seen him play, 25 minutes of Premier League football. I don't have an opinion on the young lad. Tidy footballer. Yes, he got his goal, but I'm not going to assess him just based on that. I want to see more of him. But yeah, what a nicely finished goal. Really kind of delicate touch. Didn't overcommit. Took it around the goalkeeper well. Nice little cameo from the young lad. No doubt about it. Let's have a look at some of your comments here. Forced. Yeah, the Darwin Nunez banter's forced. Most banter is forced, but it's just not funny anymore. It's just not funny. It's boring. We've got an expression where I come from where you milk something. And once it's milked, it becomes boring. Don't do it anymore. And the Darwin Nunez like banter. It's like, are you going to tweet the same? Are you going to call him Noodles? You're going to call him a crap Andy Carroll? Think of something new. Like one thing Elon Musk has got to do on Twitter is ban people for life for boring, repetitive banter. Like, honestly, I find that more offensive than the offensive things people say. Because it's just like, oh my God, I just lost a brain cell reading the same tweet by 37,000 different people. Boring. Boring. If you offer an obligation, Atletico will bite your hand off. Yeah, cool. We'll talk about that tomorrow, my brother. We're speaking here Liverpool, their performance. Let's stick to the agenda, my brother. That's what we're here to talk about. What you're all saying. As a City fan, I'm worried more about Liverpool chasing us down than Arsenal. One thing you don't do is write off Klopp's Liverpool with 15 games in only, is what Mohammed says. And listen, bro, I think a lot of people will agree with you. I think a lot of people would 110% agree with you on that. They would. They will. They will. I think a lot of people will, and that's why you sort of listen to the commentators who are unbiased. Andy Townsend and Clive Tilsley, there's no bias towards Liverpool. That's why they said it in their commentary multiple times. Don't write Liverpool off. Don't write them out of this title race. Don't do it because they ain't out of it yet. I'm not too sure if they'll make a title charge, but if City keep dropping points as they have been, and Arsenal have a little blip, they could close that gap very quickly. This time last year, no one said they'd be in a title race, and they almost caught City. They almost won the league. So, yeah, there's always a chance. Some super chats here. Daniel says, important 3 points with Spurs dropping. A great goal from by Zesic. Darwin needs to work on composure, but I'd be far more worried if he wasn't getting the chances. I agree with you, Daniel. I'd be far more worried about Nunez if he missed a chance and then ghosts for the rest of the game. I'd be far more worried if he wasn't finding the space. I just think he's panicking a little bit in those positions, and he just needs to learn to remain calm. Some of the chances he misses, it's almost you're just shanking it out of sheer panic, overthinking. Man United have a player like that. When he overthinks, he makes mistakes. Just do what comes naturally. God here says Andrew Robertson now has the most assists from a defender in Premier League history, and his career is far from over. Listen, I've told people before, I know Liverpool fans hate hearing this. Andy Robertson is better and more consistent as an overall player at fullback than Trent. He is. He's a better defender, and he's not as good at crossing the ball, but he's very, very good overall. Like the fact that Andy Robertson hasn't been by Liverpool fans. You'd have got far less challenge propping him up as the greatest fullback in Premier League history rather than Trent. Legitimately, because I actually think that's a bigger argument. You could actually make a better argument for Andy Robertson being the best left back ever in the Premier League than Trent being the best ever right back, because Andy Robertson defensively is astounding. So it's a great shout. And people will get really confused by that. Terry's not. Sounds like he's slagging off Trent, but he's doing it by praising Andy Robertson. No, it's just an opinion. I'm not slagging anyone off. Andy Robertson is one of the best fullbacks the Premier League's ever had, because he can. If football changes next week and marauding attacking fullbacks go out of fashion, Andy Robertson still remains a world-class fullback. Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't. That's why he's better, in my opinion. Nunez worse than Morata. Chelsea signing João Felix. Well, Chelsea have inquired about João Felix. As far as I'm aware, nobody has signed him yet. So we'll delve into that a little bit later on down the line. Don't be. I read the same tweet that they're inquiring. Unless something's changed in the last 5 minutes since I've been online, be very mindful that I don't think it says they're signing him. Last time I checked, I'll check it again for you now. Mike McGrath says Chelsea's rivals are monitoring Felix, but Todd Bowley is believed to be willing to move fast to sign him. Yes, so that doesn't. You said Chelsea signing Felix? No, they're inquiring. The same as Arsenal and Manchester United. Nunez' work rate is excellent, and the goals will come, as what's been said here. Yeah, I agree. I think they will. Terry Roberts, Robbo or Ashley Cole? I personally go with Ashley Cole for longevity, but my point is that's a better argument. It's a better argument, in my opinion, a stronger one, because Andy Robertson is world class going forward, world class defensively, in my opinion. I've always said that as well. Go back and watch streams from 2 or 3 years ago. I couldn't believe he wasn't being like the poster boy of all that. But I get Trent's the scouser in it, so I kind of get why that is. Most of Liverpool players are better than Chelsea's. That is the most random comment, but I thought I'd put it up just for that reason. Terry, you are right. Robertson is better than Trent. Yeah, both brilliant. And listen, by the way, I'm comparing two very good footballers. So I'm not saying one's bad, one's not. That the football terrace, we don't do that kind of thing. So another thing I'm banning from the terrace is people that slag off good footballers when trying to praise another one. We're just gonna cut the crap on the terrace moving forward. I can't be dealing with nincompoops. Can't do it. Like you can't create an argument about slagging somebody else off. Terrace ain't for you. Go find with these 2-bit, 2 bob channels. Just don't want you here anymore. And that's not you lot. You lot are great. It's trolls that turn up. Do you know what I'm saying? As a Liverpool fan, the title race is finished. We need to think about strengthening the team and think about top 4. It's a good point there, Jacob. Terry, stop, please. We are not the same team as last year. I'm asking questions here, my bro. I'm asking questions as opposed to making statements, but I hear you. Work rate good, but 6 to 8 missed goals in 2 games worrying. Yes, I get why you'd worry, but don't you think they'll come? The guy's got a good goal scoring pedigree. Klopp will getting better. He could become more composed, maybe. Maybe. Terry, people compare Nunez to Lukaku on Twitter, but they will. It's so basic. It's so basic. It's as basic as a young Portuguese player that plays on the wings coming through at a club, and everyone go, "Oh, new Ronaldo." Do you know what I mean? New Brazilian striker, new R9. Like, imagine that's how bad your brain works. That all you can do is think of another player from that country who played in that position and go, "New Ronaldo." It's honestly, I'm sorry to be rude, but imagine that's the level of your capacity. Your brain, that's all it can do. You only count to 20 when you're wearing sandals, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? We ain't about that life here. Love Terry. Nunez class, really. Yeah, I think Nunez is a classy player. I think there's a listen, he's not everyone's cup of tea because he's never gonna do on the ball what Kane can do. He's never gonna be Neymar or Zinedine Zidane. That doesn't mean he isn't good. This generation would have laughed at Michael Owen winning the Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or, Michael Owen won a Ballon d'Or with a good first touch, very good finishing, and speed off the shoulder. 3 attributes the man had. Good touch, brilliant finisher, and man could run off the shoulder. Won a Ballon d'Or. Football's changed too much where if you can't do the drag back and a step over and a Cruyff turn and a no-look pass 5 times a game, you're not a baller. That isn't what football's all about. Otherwise, everybody would be a freestyle footballer. Like, freestyle footballers can do all that, but can't play ball. There's class in Nunez. Very good performance today. Needs to add those goals, though, but that will come. It's childish to banter someone with the same thing over and over again. I just think Nunez gets too much criticism because they compare him to Haaland. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. It's just one of those things. It's funny until it's not funny anymore. And it's like, think of something new and original. Like we had Ash on the show the other day that was taking a mick out of Chelsea and basically said something about Thiago Silva and how he's older than Graham Potter. It's hilarious because it's original and it's fresh. And if you're making the same jokes everybody else is, please stop. I'm just going to ban you. Boring. Goals will come, but we have to we have not the luxury to wait. But you do, Omar, because you didn't score today and you won. Yes, you're going to lose some games, but this is what happens when you rebuild the way that FSG rebuild, where you're buying young talent to develop. You're always going to go through these moments. Maybe when FSG sell in Dubai or the Saudis or a big American company comes in and you can do 2 at the same time, buy youngsters for the future, but still buy those established players. The way FSG work, this is what you have to go through. It's something Liverpool fans, I think, have just got to learn to live with. Or call your club out. I don't think you can do both. I don't think you can do both. Make sure like buttons are being smashed, by the way, my people, and that you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Got Rack and Hussam joining me in a few moments' time. Nunez can still be coached. His finishing will definitely improve. And Nunez should play as a winger over a striker. Maybe. Terry, I actually like Nunez, but I love the banter against him. No, I get you enjoy the banter, but surely it must. Imagine watching the same stand-up show every day and listening to the same jokes. Eventually, you don't laugh. That's the point I'm making. Terry, go check the Sky Bet odds on Gakpo to Liverpool odds slash from 10 to 1 to 5 to 6 overnight and now favourites. Interesting. I'll go and take a little look. I'll be doing some more transfer news tomorrow. Today's just too intense with games for me to even focus on transfers, really. But I will take a look. Terry's trolling Liverpool by being nice to them. Such a weird response, Ron. Honestly, bruv. That and the colour of your blue shirt are the two weirdest things I've seen today. That level of blue, don't wear it, my friend. Big no-no. Primark special there. Primark special. Arsenal's bid for Mudryk. Yes, they have bid for him, but they bid for him the other day. Remember, bids don't have to be official. They're always unofficial until they're official. Don't listen to the mainstream media on that. Oh, they haven't bid yet. You've been bidding for ages. Terry, Nunez driving through from the left is okay, is what my man here says. Terry, Darwin is missing a hat-trick per game, but he'll be a great striker in the future. Yeah, he will. I only think he's a very good one. He's got the ability to be great, but we will see. Is Dean Jones coming back? Yes, Dean and I spoke Christmas Eve, and he'll be back in January along with the brilliant Ben Jacobs. Rak and Hussam are here with me now to have their say. Just bear with me a second. I need to make sure I've got the right backdrop on here. I do. Welcome back to the show, gentlemen. Congratulations on the win. 3 important points, 3 wins on the bounce. Closing in on Liverpool. What are we saying, boys? Good. Closing in.
Drax.
What are we saying?
The win is the most important thing, and we've got 3 wins in a row now. It wasn't the best performance. The first half was good. Second half not so good, but obviously conceding that goal doesn't do anything for anybody's nerves if you're a Liverpool fan. But ultimately, we get the win, and with Spurs dropping points, that obviously helps. We can narrow the gap to them by another couple of points. Wins are the most important thing. Top 4 is absolutely the primary objective this season. We're not winning the league. We're not challenging for the league. Look, in previous years where I've thought that we had a chance, absolutely, I've come out and said it, but that isn't happening this year. This is not the same team. So top 4 is our main priority, and this win helped. And hopefully the performances will come, and then obviously look to January, and hopefully we can strengthen in some areas as well.
Yeah, I hear you. How about yourself, Sam? I mean, people are talk. We'll go to title charge in a minute. In relation to that performance tonight, did concede a few chances, but put the ball in the back of the net. Nunez was an absolute nuisance all night. Give me your thoughts on that display.
First of all, I'm gonna call you out for your shamelessness. Immediately, you're on the same Trent stuff that even when he defends well, you don't come out and say he defended well today. Because today I thought he defended really well.
You say defended well. Your manager pulled him off for Gomez because Dean was cooking him. So what are you talking about?
That's not true. That's because of fitness.
Oh, fitness. He's been running around.
This is his first game back.
Right, Hussam, you're right.
This is literally his first game back.
He played so much at the World Cup.
He didn't get cooked once. I don't know what you're on about, to be honest with you. He didn't get cooked once. I watched that game.
Sam.
He was very solid defensively. He had a tackle against Dini in the box.
He played well. I didn't say nothing bad about him. I said nothing bad about him.
And the moment you're talking about it anyway, Trent went on what's his name on Dini's weak side. Exactly what you were asked to do as a defender. He went on his left hand side. Dini cut in on his right hand shot, and that was there.
Sam, what have I haven't said nothing negative about Liverpool, and you come for me for what reason?
You are agenda based when it comes to Trent.
What have I said? I didn't talk about Trent.
When it comes to Trent, you're the biggest agenda merchant.
Because I think Andy
this whole he can defend stuff and run with it, which is cap. And you deep down know it's cap. But you just get annoyed because people rate him highly.
Sam, listen, that isn't even what I said. Andrew Robertson, is he a better defender than Trent?
Yes.
Then you fucking agree with me.
No, but you said he's world class going forward. I don't agree Robertson's world class going forward.
He got the more assists than any fullback in the history of the Premier League. You don't think he's world class?
I get that, but Trent is elite going forward. Trent's better going forward.
No, but I think the difference is.
Sorry. I also said Trent's better than Robertson at going forward. We
Did
literally
Trent defend well today?
What are you talking about?
Well today?
But we weren't talking about his performance today. Somebody put a super chat in. and said that Andy Robertson is now the highest assisting fullback ever. All I said is talking about all I said is about talking about their overall careers. I said that I think Andy Robertson is a better fullback than Trent. But I then said they're both top class players. But I think Andy Robertson's better because he's world class defensively and he's world class going forward. Well, I think Trent is world class going forward and just good to very good at the back. That's the difference.
Okay, fair enough. But I think he played very well defensively today. So that was just unnecessary shots. Leave my Trent alone. Today that pass as well before the first goal. But anyway, forget Trent. Listen, today I'm actually gonna be non-agenda based. I just I'm gonna be honest about today's performance. I thought Henderson had a fantastic performance. I've come on the terrace and called him out 100 times, so we have to give credit when he has a good performance. Today, his hoof ball worked because he was hoofing the ball to our players instead of hoofing it to the opposition. So Henderson today just had a great performance for me, and I really liked the way he played football. I thought our midfielders, Fabinho and Thiago, they were good defensively. They were unable to control the ball. That's the problem for me. Like, they were just unable to control it. Just keep the ball for like 5-10 minutes. I think that's what we struggled with a little bit. When I go to our backline, I thought all four were really good. I thought Matip was fantastic. Van Dijk was good. I thought Robertson, for me, was the real man of the match. I don't know why they gave it to that guy up front. I'm going to get to. But I think Robertson was the real man of the match. He was unbelievable. Trent was unbelievable again. Alisson, for me, thank God he's our keeper. That's all I can say on Alisson at this point. Like, honestly, you'd be like, oh, you know how you'd introduce me? You'd go like, Liverpool are 17th, Hussam. Tell me your thoughts. Like, if we didn't have Alisson, thank God he's our keeper. Now onto the forward line. For me personally, I thought Salah had a very good game today. Scored, and he helped Van Dijk out with that great finish, by the way, from Virgil van Dijk for the second goal. And I thought he was a nuisance, and he scored as well. So he wasn't just a nuisance by itself. And I thought Ox had a fantastic game as well. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Mr. I Caused Chaos. We did not pay 64 million pounds for someone to cause chaos. We did not pay 64 million pounds for someone to create havoc. I'm very happy we won today. I'm so happy we won. But the reason why my blood pressure is boiling is Darwin Nunez missing all those chances. You've got to take your chances. It's just as simple as that. There's no need to make excuses. There's no need to come up here and do a song and dance about it and Nunez this and Nunez that. Just take your chances. It's as simple as that. He got like 6-7 chances today. Didn't score any of them. That game could have easily been 4-1, 5-1, and we'd have had, game set and match. Trent played a few fantastic passes. Henderson, Salah, so many people created for him. Ox as well created for him. And it's just like, my thing is, when it comes to Nunez, look, 64 million pounds, score. 64 million pounds, not create chaos, create havoc, all of those ways that people create to just defend players and drop their standards. That's the second game in a row in which he's had multiple chances and he's not scored. Like, he's went 0 from 10 probably in City and Villa today. And I have no idea how he got man of the match. I generally have no idea how he got man of the match today. I actually have no idea. And I think, look, going forward, we need every single goal that Darwin Nunez is going to score. We need every single goal that he's going to put in the back of the net. We need it. But at this moment in time, today and the game against City, he just wasn't clinical enough. And I'm not going to sit up here and do this whole nuisance stuff. I don't give a shit if he was a nuisance or not. I give a shit if he scores goals. And that young midfielder who came on, and this I'm just going to land on this, Bajticic. He's not a 19-year-old. He dinks the goalkeeper and he finishes it with his weak foot. This is like the absolute like young king to just save us all the blood pressure of the last 15 minutes. When he did that, he saved us. Like, Bajticic, that performance, unbelievable. Dink the keeper and score it that way, even though you're a midfielder. Maybe he should train Nunez on how to score goals, but I'm going to just leave it at that, man. I'm going to just leave it at that. And we're not in a title race, Terry. We are not in a title race. We are not in a title race. I can confirm right now. Don't include me in any title race talk. We are fighting for the top 4. And if you give me top 4, I say good season. You get me? So big up to you guys, man. Big up to you guys.
I hear you on that. I mean, what do you make of Nunez, Rack? Because, like, for me, I see a talented. I'm not too sure where those guys went. Like I see a talented player. Yes, he's got. I get where Hassan's coming from. He's got to put the ball in the back of the net. And what will happen with Hassan, by the way, I can read him like a book. When Nunez starts scoring, he'll say, "I've always rated him. He's now just doing the things that he weren't doing that I didn't like." He won't put his hands up. Messiah was wrong. Do you think there's a player in there that will start to score goals?
Look, the real answer is I don't know. None of us know really, and he's got potential. He's getting in those positions, and critics will obviously say he's getting in the positions, but that doesn't mean anything unless he scores. And they have a point because ultimately you need to do everything. You need to score, you need to create, you need to work hard. Those are if you want to be a proper, well-rounded striker for one of the top teams, that's what you need to do, and that's what we've bought him to do. We haven't just bought him to be a marksman only. And I don't know, but I just checked up his numbers. Like he's underperforming his XG by 2.8, which Salah's underperforming his XG by 2, so similar. But obviously Salah's played a hell of a lot more minutes, and he scored many more goals. But I'm going to give him time. I'll make a decision on him at the end of this season, maybe midway through next season, because then I think we've got enough games to make a solid prediction on where we think he can reach. The guy's played 10 games. He's played like 600 minutes for Liverpool now, first team, at least in the Premier League. And the Premier League is a tough league. He doesn't speak the language and all that. We can see he's got great physical attributes. He's super fast. He's very strong. His touch leaves a little bit to be desired, but he's like assisted with some of his controls and touches. Like I think it was a Southampton game where he had a lovely touch with one foot, played it on with his right foot, and I think it was Salah who scored. But I don't know. But I'm not going to crucify the kid just yet because 23 years old, man. Like he's still got time. He's got it all to prove, though. He's got it all to prove.
I hear you on that. Tom, are you with us? Because you seem to be cutting in and out. Yeah, I think that internet's dead. Your internet is
Yeah.
your internet's dead.
It's struggling. It's struggling. I think so. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think it's gone. It's gone again. It's gone again. Try getting that sorted out, my friend. We had a super chat actually that came through that said, to me, Darwin Nunez was more involved than Salah today. Just my opinion. Well, this is the thing. Like, I understand. Like Hussam will say, I don't just want a player that runs around. I get that. I respect it. At the same time, you man were lauding Firmino for 3 years when he wasn't a prolific goal scorer because he linked up play and caused problems and everything else. Now, I don't know if Hussam was doing that. He'll probably say, no, I wasn't. He also wasn't really around on socials back then, so there'll be no receipts of him doing it. I just don't think... My point is this. I agree that the goal scoring's got to come, but I think the level of criticism he's getting is like a player that's a complete ghost in the games, doing nothing, not involved. Phone Tyrone Mings tonight and say, how hard was that? And I bet you he says the guy run us ragged. And this is the thing for a lot of football fans. That isn't entertaining on the eye, but it helps to win you games. And I think those things are really, really key. A lot of people are putting this in here about the Gakpo to Liverpool. It's the third super chat we've had that you guys are now favorites of Sky Bet. We'll see what happens to that. Nunez needs composure, then he'll become good, is what Honesty has got to say here as well. Listen, Rack, I appreciate you coming on. So go on, mate. Go on.
So just one. What I think he struggles with is when he's playing centrally. He struggles with that finish going across the goal with his right foot, and he skewed a few of them wide. He did it a few times against City, and I think he did it today as well. When he's playing from the left-hand side, which he's played a few games from the left-hand side, especially with Diaz being out, he's obviously the angle that he's coming from is a bit different. So it opens his body up more so he can shoot into the goalkeeper's left-hand side or his right. So that could be an option if when Firmino comes back, maybe we could look to play him more from the right-hand side because on the left-hand side because I think Ox was okay today. I was surprised. My expectations of Ox at this point are very low, and he was better than I thought he was going to be. But I think Nunez is better coming from that left-hand side and maybe playing Bobby through the middle, at least until we get maybe Jota back.
Mate, good points being raised there. Starlord says his job is to score goals. It is, but not only.
It's not only to score goals.
This is the ironic thing. Bruno Fernandes, when he was scoring more goals than any midfielder in the history of English football in a single season, but what does he do other than the goals? Very rarely do you find a complete player who is scoring shed loads of goals and doing all the other things. It's rare in football. So give this young man time. Listen, everyone who's tuned into the show, we're back live after West Ham and Arsenal in a couple of hours' time. Make sure you're smashing the like and the share buttons before you leave today. Take care. Goodbye. God bless.